All right, so good evening, welcome. We're so happy that you guys are here. My name's Carly Gordon. I work with the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. So welcome, and thank you for taking the time to join us tonight. We are really excited to have you all here. Great Stride season is here, so we are in full swing. Tonight, we're here to get inspired and excited about fundraising. And no laughing at that. We want you to feel comfortable to ask questions and to put your questions in the chat as our speakers are speaking tonight. I'm going to just go over a couple little housekeeping rules and then we're going to get right into it. So as I mentioned in the chat, if you don't know how to use the chat, let us know, but go ahead and share any questions that you have in the chat. I'm going to review our upcoming walks. Our Great Strides Santa Clarita is coming up this Saturday on May the 6th. We've got Greater Los Angeles in Santa Monica on May 13th. Orange County, which takes place in Huntington Beach, is coming up on May 20th. So the next couple of weeks are just super busy. June 3rd, that is a big day in Southern California for Great Strides. We've got San Diego, Long Beach at El Dorado Park, and Inland Empire in Ontario, all happening simultaneously on June 3rd. So none of us are sleeping on June 2nd. In the fall, we have 3 walks scheduled: Palm Springs on October 14th, Santa Barbara on November 11th, and Ridgecrest on December 2nd. So a lot of events coming up, a lot of great strides, successes that we're looking forward to sharing with all of you. And so I'm going to give everybody on our staff a chance to introduce themselves, and then we're going to get right into our guest speakers. So as I mentioned, my name is Carly Gordon. I work in the Orange County office of the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. I'm going to next turn it over to Katie and Stephanie, and then we're going to do our San Diego crew, and then we'll wrap up with the LA crew. So Katie, go for it.
Hi, everyone. My name is Katie. I am part of the Orange County office for the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. Apologies for the awful lighting. Do I dare say I look better in person? I'm not quite sure, but excited to meet all of you tonight and hear the speakers' stories. And thanks so much for joining us.
Hello, everyone. I'm Stephanie. As Carly mentioned, I work in the Orange County office as well. I am actually a guest here. I work on the Paddle for CF. To hear everybody, and welcome.
I'm Jen Kalker. I'm in the San Diego chapter, and I forgot I don't think anybody was saying what other events they work on. So Great Strides.
All right.
Hi, I'm Amber Walters. I work outside of the Los Angeles office, and welcome. Super happy and excited to have you guys here and joining us.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jackie Smith. Forgive me for the foggy voice. I work with the Los Angeles chapter, and I work on the Great Strides remote site. Thank you for participating tonight.
All right, thank you, everybody. So now you've got our staff that's here. So our speakers tonight, we have Alicia, who has been a CF volunteer or a volunteer with the CF Foundation for 3 years. We've got Maureen, who has been a volunteer for 13 years. And then we've got Marika, who's been a CF volunteer for 18 years. So I'm going to turn it over to Marika, then we'll hear from Maureen and then Alicia, and then we'll have Q&A where you guys can ask questions and we can kind of chat about some other ideas after that. So Marika, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Okay. Hi, everyone. So our family, we have 3 kids. We have Jonah and Javen, who are fraternal twins, who are 18, and my daughter Ansley is 12. And so when our boys were born, they were diagnosed, or Jonah was diagnosed as a newborn. That was actually before newborn screening, but some things in the ultrasounds had triggered us to get tested. And so we found out when he was really young. He was hospitalized for a few weeks as a baby, and I met Julia, who is the social worker at Miller's, and she kind of just encouraged me to look into getting involved in Great Strides as something that we could do. And so the first walk we did was when our boys were 1, and we've done it every year since then. Our team has actually raised $405,000 over the last 18 years. And this year we're at about 6,000 so far. But I think the things that have helped us be the most successful are just being consistent. We actually are not really on social media. So a lot of ours is still kind of old fashioned sending letters out every spring. And we send about 160 letters out. And I always include our letter that I kind of try to come up with a new thing every year that's kind of my focus of the letter, and invite people to walk with us. And we always, what we found has been successful is asking people to donate a specific amount, which has often been how old Jonah is. So this year he's 18. We said, would you donate $18? And I think, very often people donate a lot more than that, but it's kind of a comfortable thing for people to realize, oh, okay, that's not that much. I can do that, and we do have lots of people over the years who have donated to $13, $18, depending on, that year. We also have been able to build up a pretty good team of walkers. We often have had 80 to 100 people walking with us, and have been very blessed to have some consistent walkers who have on their own said, hey, I'll donate. I mean, I'll fundraise $1,000, I'll try to raise $500, and that all of course helps. Let's see. I do send Christmas cards out still too. And I've always felt like I make sure everyone who gets a Great Strides letter gets a Christmas letter. I don't want it to be like they only hear from us at Great Strides time, because I'm not on social media. A lot of people love our Christmas letter because it kind of is an update on our family. And so I've always felt like that I want to keep people kind of knowing what's going on with our family, but then they also hear from us every year at Great Strides. And my daughter's 12 now. She's done a lemonade stand for the last several years, and she actually just did it this last weekend, and she raised $3,300, which is pretty amazing. We've found that by not charging an amount, it's been really great. Just we have a big jar, say all donations go to the CF Foundation. She has lemonade, raspberry lemonade, and iced tea, and she makes Arnold Palmer's as well. And then we have usually a couple kinds of treats that we've made. And by kind of just letting people give whatever they want, we have had a lot of people who have come and, put $100 bill in there. This year, we also put a QR code out for if they wanted to donate directly to our website or to the team. And that's been a great way to involve her. She writes a letter, and we make a cute little flyer. So that's included in our packet. When we send out our team letter, we send out her flyer, we send out her personal letter. She also passes those down the couple blocks around us and puts them on porches. We post it on Nextdoor, and that's been a really neat way to involve a lot of our neighborhood, where we're not asking the same, friends and family for everything. We have had a lot of neighbors come to that. We also do every year a Chick-fil-A Spirit Day. And so that's the fourth part of my packet is the flyer, because we usually get that set up a couple months ahead of time. We've worked with the same Chick-fil-A, and many years they've donated between $800 to $1,000 from that event because of how much we bring in. So like I said, in that packet is our letter, Ansley's flyer, Ansley's letter, and then the Chick-fil-A flyer. So people kind of get it all at once. And then we will send out email reminders. My sister-in-law is a teacher at a local high school, so she often encourages her students to go to Chick-fil-A, and she offers them extra credit if they bring a receipt back. And so we kind of just promote it as much as we can among the local people who live around here. We often, as a family, go for breakfast, lunch, and dinner that day, which is fun, and a number of people. So it's fun to get to see people throughout the day who are going for that. So those are kind of our most consistent fundraisers. We have done other things such as an ice cream social rally party, we called it, where we had an auction. We have done a luncheon at our house that that has brought in a lot before. We have family members who have done movie nights or poker nights, and those were nice because they were family members who did them, but I could later, if there's time, give you a few more details about that. But that's kind of the things we found to be most successful, and just to have brought in a lot of money over the years. So yeah.
Wow, Marika, that's amazing. That's I mean, over $400,000 is phenomenal. And so much coordination with the letter for the Christmas time and the letter for Great Strides and the flyer. So there's obviously a lot of time and effort that goes into planning all of that.
There is, and I do have, I'm pretty organized, but I kind of have my little yearly to-do list. Like, by February, I know time to start drafting the letter. March, we, set up a Chick-fil-A day. I try to kind of just stay on top of it every year so that I can, and we've found as a team that not really sending the letter out till about April works pretty well for us, with a usually early June walk. I know some people start fundraising earlier. We've kind of found doing it in a real tight couple months tends to work for us. So one last thing is, years ago, my husband ended up making us a website. It's teamjonah.com, but it's just been a nice way to it has our letter. We used to do a video each year. It had the video. We haven't done a video in a couple years, but he links, like, as our walkers sign up through the website, he links them to our Team Jonah page. And so we encourage all of our walkers to say, hey, go to teamjonah.com. Then they can click on the walker to get to their page. But it's just kind of a way to get everyone to our page first, where they can see our letter, see pictures, and has kind of our running total of all of our, walkers raised.
Wow,
so.
That's amazing. So I'll save this question for later, since I said we should save questions for later. But doing this for 18 years, I'd love to hear how the kids feel about it as they've gotten older. Having mom write the letter and have pictures and sharing all that online. I wonder how especially the boys.
Yeah, they're good. I always read it to them first before I mail it out. I feel like, and I always do that with their Christmas letter too. I never want to, especially now that they're older, want to send something. I always have to get the picture approved by Jonah. Is this one okay? But I think it's just been such a part of our family. They know that they love walk day because we usually have a lot of our good friends there. The lemonade stand is a great time where we have lots of people who come, and it is definitely just part of our family's year, and they have grown up with that, always. So yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. We really appreciate that. Maureen, I'm going to turn it over to you for the next little section. So the mic is yours.
Thank you. So I am Maureen Ballard. I am in Honolulu, Hawaii, which is part of the San Diego chapter. For anyone who doesn't know, San Diego covers Hawaii. And I've been, involved with the foundation for 13 years. Kind of a coincidence, Marika. My nephew, who has CF, is also a fraternal twin. His twin sister, Lily, does not have CF, but Drew does. Drew was born in Hershey, Pennsylvania. They have since, it's my brother's children, they have since moved to Hershey, Pennsylvania. So I've never been involved in the day-to-day life of CF. However, I immediately, Drew was born in March, and that May, my family across the country started walking for CF. So that was my first walk in Honolulu. He was only a couple months old at the time. And so we've had a lot of differing things in our family across the country. Now I'm pretty much the only dedicated team for our family. And so it's a little bit of a challenge as an auntie fundraising, because I don't have that day-to-day life with CF. Certainly, I have gotten to know a lot of families here in Hawaii, particularly because they are military. So coming in and out of the state over those 13 years. And I also do a lot of things nationally with the foundation. And so I use a lot of that in my fundraising. My biggest fundraiser, or consistent fundraiser, I should say, is my superb owl polygons, which would otherwise be known as Super Bowl squares. So I just take a little turn on it. It was actually a joke between my husband and a good friend of his. We actually do, I don't know where they are right now, but we do actually have 2 wooden carved owls that my husband has had for years. And that actually started them calling it the superb owl for years before. And so I do that online, and it is a consistent minimum of $750 that I raise with that every year. And I get a lot of people who are not football fans who are asking me at the very first part of January, hey, are you doing that this year? And so I have one set of squares or polygons, which are $10 a piece, which are like a traditional one. And then I also have another set, which are $5 a piece. And they're my crazy polygons for every time the score changes during the game. So it just is a different way to look at the game. There's people who participate who have no interest in football, but they're dragged to a football party anyways. And it just kind of gives them something else to kind of do. And I say it's a 750 minimum because several people who have participated and won immediately say, just keep the money. Like they don't want the winnings, just keep it. So this year, I think it brought in close to $1,000 with the winnings that were turned in. At other times of the year, I have sometimes done a March Madness for college basketball. Unfortunately, I also do advocacy for the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, and that's usually right around the time that all the picks have to go in for March Madness. So that one has been smaller for me, but when I have done that one, I do try to do both a men's bracket and women's bracket to ensure that we have equal participation. And my mother won that one year, and I believe she donated back, but you know. So those are the 2 that I try, or certainly Superb Owls is my big one. And then I've tried doing fundraising letters in the past. I'm just not a letter writer. It's really that I don't get to the end to actually mail it out. So that's when, and then other things that I do are I do a lot of crafting, and I do have an Etsy store, and anything that sells on the Etsy store, that money goes right to CF. And my biggest item on that have actually been Christmas stockings. So I will go most of the year not having a sale, and then I'll sell like 5 Christmas stockings that have been there for 2 years. And, you know, so just a different way, a different passion that I have, something that keeps me occupied and that I'm able to then give back. And that's the way it works. So those are just a couple of the things that I do in addition to actually running the walk. So that's what I got.
Wow, that's amazing. Just a couple little things in addition to running the walk. I like how you kind of threw that in there. So since Maureen works with Jen in our San Diego office, Maureen pretty much plans, executes, hosts, MC. Do you MC and DJ at the walk as well?
No, I actually have a friend who jumps into MC, but yeah.
Okay. So she's actually setting up, she's tearing down, she's planning all the logistics. So she's handling all of that. So
pretty much anyone who signs up for my team is also a volunteer for the walk, and they know that going in. So
the bonus is they get to do it in Honolulu. So
exactly, that's right.
Very cool. Thank you so much, Maureen, for sharing some of those really cool ideas. And I'm sure you're gonna have a lot of questions in the chat shortly. So let's move on to our next guest speaker, Alicia. So Alicia is going to share a little bit about her family and her fundraising. And then after that, we'll open it up for some Q&A.
All right. Hi, guys. I'm Alicia. I have been part of the CF Foundation for the last 3 years. In November of 2019, I had my daughter Quinn, who was diagnosed via the newborn screening at 2 weeks old. And hold on, she's interrupting me. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Where was I? Oh, yeah. Picked up newborn screening that she had CF. Shocker to both my husband and I. Once she was diagnosed and we had her first CF appointment with her team, they encouraged me to go to the foundation for any information and informed me that Great Strides would be coming up in just a few short months after that. So I signed us up, and then the pandemic happened. So we did virtual for the first 2 years, which being virtual and just asking on Facebook for money was pretty successful. Last year was my biggest fundraising. I think I did almost $9,000. And like Marika said, lemonade stand. Thank you, Marika, for the pointers. Now I know how to put my lemonade stand on steroids. I've done 2 to this year, each raised almost $1,000 a piece. But now I know to pass out flyers in the surrounding homes, and maybe I'll reach the $3,000 goal. I did realize compared to last year that not putting a price and just asking for donations or offering it for free made a big difference. People were willing to donate more money. But one of my other fundraising successes is Shop for a Cure, or a yard sale, garage sale, depending on where you live and what you call it. I've done one every single year, and I usually start asking for donations right before Christmas. People are clearing out their homes, especially toys. In my area, toys sell like crazy. And I say, hey, your kids are going to get new toys. You guys want to donate anything? My mother-in-law, bless her heart, I filled her house up twice, collecting for several months, but we usually bring in roughly, I think the last year was $1,200 or $1,300. This year was a lot less because I didn't do a lot of advertising. I wasn't going to fundraise in that way, but then last minute I said, oh, I have a lot of junk that I could probably get rid of. So we did it that, and we promote it on our local, we have a local group here in Riverside called What's Going On in Riverside County, and I promote it then, and a lot of people come. And once they know that it's for a cause, they usually give me more than what I'm asking, or I printed out the QR code and people donated that way. Venmo, Zelle, I make it a little bit easier than just cash. So that is probably one of my biggest, except for the lemonade stand. I encourage everybody to do a lemonade stand. It's fun. I also did shirts. The shirts do generate money, but not a whole lot. My biggest point of the shirt would be to spread awareness. And I try and make our shirts a shirt that somebody would want to wear every single day, not just, oh, this gaudy CF, sorry, any awareness shirt. And our crew name is Salty Q's Crew, and we obviously are in Southern California and we love the beach. So last year we had like a wave, and it said cystic fibrosis awareness, very small, but Salty Q's Crew. And that was a big hit. I sold over 50 shirts, and this year I think I did 70. We did turn and we did lungs, and on one side of the lungs was roses and on the other side was beach theme. And that was a big hit too. But I only make about a $10 profit off of each one. We do use a local company and they give me a really big discount in order to make that profit. That way I'm able to donate back to the foundation. But our very first year we did signs, yard signs, and they were Dr. Seuss theme. And it said, I do not like cystic fibrosis here or there. I do not like cystic fibrosis anywhere. And again, a local company gave us a big discount on those, and those sold. I made a big profit. I made almost a $20 profit off of each sign, and we sold over 50. So those are my fundraising ideas. I am doing a raffle basket. My sister's a hairstylist and makeup artist. I have an aunt who owns a salon, and a lot of her employees there donated services and products to this gift basket, but I haven't promoted it just yet. So I can't say how successful that is, but maybe next year or in the next meeting, I'll have an update on that one. And so, yeah, I'll turn it back over to Carly.
Thank you, Alicia. That's awesome. I love how you said you only make $10 per shirt, and that's a small fundraiser. That's a pretty good profit margin. Is that the right term? I mean, making $10 per shirt is pretty good. I've talked to some team leaders and it's only like $2 or $3 or $1. So I think having that local vendor that gives you a discount and you can sell them easily and make $10, that's pretty healthy. So thank you so much. I want to see if we have any questions in the chat from Katie and Amber that we want to start with. That was a lot of information, ladies, and a lot of great examples. Thank you so much for sharing all of that. I know I have questions. Do we have any questions in the chat we should start with?
Let's see. I know Katie asked who the local company is for the shirts. The company is based out of Menifee, and they're called Love to Live Printing. They actually do a lot of shirts for different causes pertaining to special needs children, and that's how I found them on an Instagram reel. They do ship, so you could be anywhere and receive the shirts. I just drive down there and pick them up. They're super kind. It's just a husband and wife who does them.
Very nice. You know, that leads me to a question that might apply to some on the call. And this is, you know, since you guys, the ladies that have shared, everybody has a more of a direct connection to CF. You have a relative, a child that has cystic fibrosis. What advice would you give to somebody who is new to supporting the foundation and may not have a direct CF connection? You know, what would you share with them to encourage them to either create a team? I know, Marika, you said you've had teams from all over the neighborhood. You have teams that are, you know, people that just happen to see your flyer or happen to come into your restaurant fundraiser. What would you recommend to somebody who doesn't have a direct CF connection on how they could get started with fundraising?
Well, I think it's always great coming from kids too. Like, you know, Ansley writing a letter about her brother and why she's raising money. I think if that family has kids and wants to send it, like I remember a friend a long time ago said, I don't mind having my kid write a letter to all my family and friends asking for money, but I don't really want to, you know, but it's like when it's about their friend or someone they know, and you know, especially like have them write it in their sweet little handwriting, you know, and photocopy that out or post it, you know, with their writing to show like this is a little kid who has found something that they're trying to make a difference, you know, in. And again, I think just that asking for an amount, like the age that the kid is, it's not a huge amount, but it's something that gives people permission to realize like, okay, that's not that much, I can do that, you know. And a lot of times they will do more, but I think sometimes people think the only thing people are happy with is, you know, $100 donation or something, and so giving permission for a small amount is valuable also.
Yeah, every dollar counts, right? Every single dollar counts. Maureen, go ahead.
I'd just like to say that if you are a new team, anything that you can do to help us further this cause, whether it be raising awareness or bringing in $10, it's greatly appreciated by the community as a whole. And there is no minimum that we're asking. We're asking you to get involved, to, you know, to just commit. And right now for this purpose, we're talking about, you know, just sign up for Great Strides and kind of see where it takes you. And what is your passion? You know, if you are into letter writing, that's great. If you are having a yard sale and you're clearing out the stuff anyways, that works too. Really anything counts. And I know we've talked a lot about different values that we raise at some of our fundraisers, but really any amount counts.
Yeah. Thank you, Maureen. Anybody on the call that's a first-time team leader that wants to fess up to being a newbie to any of this? Is everybody on here an experienced team leader? Do we have anybody that's new, first time participating in Great Strides?
I am new. I'm Janet Betton.
Hey, Janet, welcome.
Hello. So I'm learning. I'm getting great nuggets to be able to implement. So this is great. Thank you for inviting me.
Well, do you have a direct connection to CF, or did you sign up for a different purpose? How'd you find out about Great Strides?
Well, I signed up with my team leader for my organization, the Pomona Valley Section National Council for Negro Women. We will be participating in the Great Strides Walk on June 3rd here in Ontario. So I volunteered to be team leader, and we are excited. We're excited to be a part of this organization, to be able to give back. And of course, that's the foundation of what we do. We are a nonprofit, and participating and being able to provide support to needy causes is definitely where we are greatly entrenched. And, you know, again, appreciate being invited. And thank you, Carly, for sharing the information and letting us know about it. And we'll be out there walking.
Thank you, Janet. Appreciate that.
Maureen, people were asking what your store is called too.
Yeah, your Etsy store.
Yeah, I know people ask me that all the time. You would think I would know. I think it's something like Annie Mo for CF or I don't know. I'll look it up and let you know.
Send us a link so we can share it. Yeah, send us.
I will.
I was gonna say,
I always
isn't
have a
it on
hard time
your-
finding it.
I think it's on your Instagram or something.
Yeah, it
You
is.
sent it
Yeah,
to
you
me
said that, and I'm
somehow,
like,
yeah.
yeah, it's on my link tree. Yeah.
I
Which
can
that's
put
the
it
other
on-
thing. I am on a lot of social media, and I do have a link tree which has the links to my fundraising page, my Etsy store. When I do Rose Up, that's on there. So that's just a nice way to kind of consolidate all of it.
Well, I saw some eyebrows raised when you said Christmas stocking, so I'm pretty sure you're going to get a few sales if you send us that link.
Good.
So eyebrows raised in a good way, in a positive way. Very good. Okay, do we have, is anybody want to share? So Janet mentioned that she's going to be walking with IE. Anybody else on here walking with the Inland Empire Walk in Ontario? Anybody walking in Long Beach with Marika? Marika's our only Long Beach girl. Okay, we got you. We got you. Anybody walking in San Diego? Where's our San Diego peeps, Jen?
Yeah,
They're all
we're walking
ready.
San Diego Carson's crew.
Mhm.
Yay, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
Rena,
Yolanda-
do you have any fundraising tips that you want to share? Not to put you on the spot or anything, but
No, I don't mind at all. I'm driving, so pardon me. Can you guys hear me okay?
yes.
Okay. Let's see. I think our biggest thing lately has been our yard sale. We do the same thing. We are on, I think we calculated we're on like our 8th or 9th year this year. My daughter is 14 and we found out that she had CF through the newborn screen as well. So she was in the hospital for her first 2 months of life. But doing great with Trikafta. Woohoo! So let's see. This was our 8th year with our yard sale. Again, we had with the pandemic, we had a year, almost 2 years that we took off as well. This last year, we also had kind of a last minute yard sale. We usually will ask for donations 2 months in advance, just because of storage or lack thereof. We get so many donations that we often run out of space. Last year, my brother-in-law allowed us to use his, I want to say it was a 25-foot trailer, enclosed trailer, and we filled that guy to the gills with anybody that we could ask. Social media, friends and family, lots of coworkers. We had me and my family, my sisters. We would go to people's homes if they couldn't deliver and pick up the donations with either a flatbed trailer or our trucks. We would often ask people to do the donations. And again, if they couldn't bring them to us, we would go and do our best to go get them from them. And with our trucks, we could get larger items. So we would have tons of furniture, just a mass amount. There was nothing that we turned away. So this year we had we did it kind of last minute, but we did go ahead and ask for donations. And I think we had 2.5 weeks to get ready, maybe 3. And we still loaded up probably a flatbed trailer and 2 full flatbed trucks full of items, a third, if that, of what we usually get. And we raised just over $600. But we have gone as high as 2,500. I think 3,000 was our highest year.
Well, we're averaging about 2,000 a year
Yeah,
with it.
that's my sister. So yeah, and oh my God. So that's our biggest thing. But I am on social media. My family is on social media, so we will often just put everything out there and put our website or a page on Facebook, Instagram, whatever we can do, and just ask for donations. And we always start with, it doesn't matter how small, any dollar amount's good. And again, you have the people that you ask $5, $10, whatever you want, whatever they can do. And oftentimes people will do minimum 20, 50, 100. So just putting it out there, and really the biggest thing for me is thanking everybody that donates, no matter how big, no matter how small. Kind of going back as well, I do the Christmas cards as well. Anybody that goes to the walk or donates, again, that person is added to my Christmas card list every year. And my Christmas card list my Christmas card envelopes are sealed with our save the date label. So we'll put on there, okay, this next year's walk is this date, and we will put on either a QR code or our Carson's Crew Great Strides walk page. But those are just a few things that we've done in the past, but a few others that are big that were kind of last minute that we did last year were Little Caesars Pizza and C's Candy, and that's all online, and it's all delivered directly to everyone's home. So there's nowhere they need to go. They just can decide if they want to participate or not. And each of those was a minimum of $1,000, because those are really great fundraisers. But I could go on and on, but those are the big ones that we do each year.
Thank you, Karina. Thank you, Erica. Karina and Marika, just a quick question. You both mentioned restaurant fundraisers, so the pizza fundraiser and then like the Chick-fil-A. Just to be clear, you're working with the restaurants and they give a percentage of the sales for that day to your team. Is that how those fundraisers work?
Yes, for Chick-fil-A, you have to have the flyer, which you can have a printed version, or you can have it on your phone or a picture of it. Chick-fil-A does it all day long. So from, 6:30 in the morning until they close. So people can go dine in, take out, drive through, and they give a percentage of each sale that's made with the flyer. It does depend on how much you bring in. Like, I think if you bring in $1,000, they donate 10% of that. And if you bring in 1,500 or 2,000, they donate, 15%, and it goes up proportionally. So we have often brought in a couple $1,000s of sales. So they, give a higher percentage, and then the owner just has been generous to kind of sometimes up that a little bit. But we've done it at the same one every year, usually mid-May. On a Thursday happens to be the day we've always done it, and that seems to work well for people. And so they usually give us a check a couple weeks after with our total.
Okay, that's wonderful. That's great. And Maureen, you mentioned matching gifts in the chat. So we talk about matching gifts in the foundation all the time. Do you actually, so you mentioned that you do it. So you offer to your, tell us how you tell them that you're going to give $1 for every $1 they give on a certain day?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, usually, I've tried doing, timing is always kind of an issue for me. I lose track of time. I work rotating shifts. But what I did this year, and I've done it before, where, we're getting to the week of the walk, and I'm just like, I want to be kind of done with this, because as I said, I'm also organizing it. And ultimately, this is money that I've already set aside for a donation at some point anyways. And I just kind of hold it back. And then the week of the walk, I said, okay, hey, this is the final push. I will match everything up to, in this year, it was $1,300 in honor of my nephew's 13th birthday. And I did, I raised $1,300 in the week. And I said, and what I did last year and this year is I said, any donation to any of my team members. So it wasn't just for me, but it was also kind of encouragement. Last year when I did that, my brother, who it's his son with CF, actually made a donation to each of my team members to ensure that they had $100 so that they earned their t-shirt, because they were also my volunteers. But then I matched that. So, it's just kind of tying it in. As I said, it's the money that I was going to be donating anyways. And it could be as simple as one of the things we did at the San Diego walk this year, or San Diego fundraising earlier this year, was it Lucky 7, Jen, where we had raised $17 in 7 days or whatever. And then I think I said I would match that for anyone who donated, which that happened to occur right around my nephew's birthday. So it was kind of and I think I got mine within 5 days or something. So it's just kind of sometimes a way to kind of entice people. If you're able to do that, that's certainly not, as I said, it's money that I have set aside for a donation anyways. So it's a nice way to carrot people to donation.
Yeah, Marina, I think that's great. Stephanie mentioned in the chat that, Ainsley had a matching gift for her lemonade stand. Have you guys had any experience with talking to like some of the local businesses or like potentially sponsors that would do the matching gift? Because I think that's great. You're doing it individually and from your family. Have any of you had experience with someone, maybe a business colleague or somebody that has a business doing a matching gift?
I know of other teams across the country who have. I have not. I haven't gone that way, in part because I'm in the public sector for jobs. So most of the people I am friends with are also as well. So we don't work for companies that would match. So then it would mean that we'd have to go out further. I'm sure there's other people here who have better connections in that way.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool.
Reach out to your friends who work in healthcare. I have 2 cousins who are doctors for Kaiser, and right around, I don't know what month it is, but it's right before Great Strides, Kaiser matched their donation directly to our team. So each of my cousins donated $500, and then I got $1,000 from Kaiser.
That's amazing.
And I know Anthem Blue Cross is another one. I have another cousin who's a nurse for them, and they matched her donation as well.
That's a great suggestion. Janet,
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Karina, and then we'll go to Janet.
Okay, I my phone just cut out, but I didn't hear about the Kaiser donation. Is that for people that work for the company that get matching donations?
Yes, that's correct. Those who are employed by Kaiser, if they make a donation to a nonprofit, Kaiser will match their donation. And however my cousins did it, who are physicians for Kaiser, they were able to get Kaiser to match directly to our team.
Very cool. Janet, did you have a question?
No, I was just applauding.
Okay, I was messaging you, like, are you applauding or just raising your hand? Okay. Very cool. Alicia, I'm going to pose this question to everybody on the call, but I know Alicia had shared a pretty interesting story with me recently. And so really the question is like, what, if anything, has surprised you or impacted you in your fundraising experience? And really it's tied into the fact that fundraising involves relationships, right? People don't give you money unless you talk to them and you have a relationship or are building a relationship with them. And Alicia, you shared it with me, your recent lemonade stand. You had some people come up to you and had really kind of a special experience that had nothing to do with fundraising. But it was part of what you focus on, I know many times, is spreading awareness about the cystic fibrosis illness. And share a little bit about that. And then maybe somebody else has examples that are similar.
So one thing I always try and do, especially with the lemonade stand, I held it on a very busy street where we live that a lot of people walk and run. And it's just a beautiful street that people like to go and enjoy the scenery. And so when they would come up, they would ask what we were fundraising for, and I would tell them, and then I would ask them if they knew what CF was. And I had a family come and I said, oh, do you know what CF is? And we all started bawling. They were also a CF family. They lost their daughter at 18. And I didn't ask when, but I know that it was probably recent, within the last 5 to 8 years. And they said, yes, we saw your flyer on the internet and we wanted to come support you for that reason. So I've made a lot of great connections. I had a running group stop and they thought it was the most amazing thing. And they prayed over my daughter. I've met a lot of neat people, just different, and they're really, really interested in our story. Recently, I got connected. It was through the foundation, but with a family who has no CF connection other than they found out that they are carriers. And just connecting with me, they said that like, how do we become a part of this? Even if we decide not to have children or don't end up having a child with CF. And I said, well, you can start by joining my team. And so they did. They joined, they're from San Diego, but they joined to walk with us in Orange County on the 20th.
That's Erica and James, right?
Yeah.
No?
Yes. Erica, yeah, the Reeds, last name Reed.
Yes.
Yes.
They signed up down here too, but they told me about you.
Yes. They're so sweet.
I didn't know it was you, but funny.
Yes.
Yeah, it's funny. Alicia told me, and I was waiting to get the green light that we could talk about it. So we got the green light. That's great. Thank you so much for sharing that, Alicia. Does anybody else have any other questions at this point that they can think of? Or any thoughts they want to share?
I wanted to just share a little bit more about how the lemonade stand, how we've simplified it a little bit. I realized we buy our lemonade from Costco. We do not make lemonade, and we get the big jugs that I think they're like $5.99 for 2 of them. And then I usually buy the Tajava iced tea that's in bottles. So, but then we have 3 cute little acrylic pitchers, and we put the lemonade in with sliced lemons so it looks fancy, and then we put lemonade with frozen raspberries, and then that turns it kind of pink, and so that's our raspberry lemonade. And then we put the iced tea in, so it looks really cute and presentable, but it's just Costco lemonade. And it's easy to go, I just say, oh, let me go fill that up, and I take it in the house and jump in more. But I don't want you to think we're, making gallons and gallons of homemade lemonade. We do make a few treats, like, homemade bakery treat things. But and then we also have found success doing our lemonade stand 2 days in a row. Last year and this year, we did it on a Saturday and a Sunday from 1 to 3 both days. And we found, we kind of just made enough and bought enough to have enough for both days. But then if one day didn't work for someone, hopefully the other day would. And it was kind of just easy to put everything in and out. And we had a couple people come both days, who lived in the neighborhood even. But I just wanted to, I guess, that it's gotten so used to how we do it, but we try to keep it simple, keep it nice, but so yeah.
I love Alicia says she's doing the most because she's making it from scratch. Well, see, now you've learned from one of the more senior folks here who's been doing it. Shouldn't say senior, that doesn't sound good, doesn't Marika? Senior, like a senior in high school. You're like our senior volunteer. Alicia's our freshman volunteer. We'll go with
Maybe
that.
that's my problem. Why I'm not raising $3,000 because I'm making it and not buying it.
You're too tired from making it from scratch, right? Thank you guys so much for doing this with us tonight. We really do appreciate it. I think we've gotten some real gems from fundraising and from just community engagement, really some great ideas, some new ideas, hopefully for many of you that are on the call. Before we wrap up tonight, I want to turn it over to Stephanie. Stephanie has some really cool news to share about one of our supporters, a family, a business that's partnering with us. And it's a great example of how these relationships can really lead to really cool opportunities. So Stephanie, I'm going to turn it over to you.
I just want to thank you all. I have an entire notebook filled with notes that I've been taking that I'm going to take to my surfers and paddlers. And it was really helpful for me because a lot of them don't have a direct connection. So this is really easy ideas that they can implement and that are low costing. So thank you all for sharing. And then as Carly mentioned, Paddle for CF has an amazing sponsor who's really just been involved with the foundation for a while now and through other events. And this is their first year sponsoring the Paddle for CF event. And again, for those of you who don't know, Paddle for CF happens on the same day as Great Strides Orange County, which is May 20th, walk weekend in Huntington Beach. We're right there on the beach and on the water. And afterwards, we're inviting everybody, walkers, paddlers, spectators, supporters, anybody who attends the event to attend a post-sesh hang party at the Green Cheek and Sunset Beach. They're fundraising and donating back to the organization. There will be appetizers provided to the participants who visit. We'll have a little fun ticket for you all. It is family friendly, so all ages are welcomed, outdoors and indoors, pet friendly. We'll take over the whole parking lot. We'll have entertainment and we'll have vendors there as well. I think Amber might have thrown in the chat a picture that you all can see, or she might be throwing that in a second, but we do welcome you all to come out and hang out with us. It starts as early as 12 o'clock, and it ends when their restaurant closes. Thank you all.
So another incentive to come join us in Orange County. Still do your walks in your communities too, but you can always come out to OC and hang out with the surfers. So Stephanie, it's called, what's the fancy surfer name? Post sesh
hang.
So sesh is like post session. So post surf session hang. Okay. For the people like me who are not surfers, I had to like think about it. Okay. It's too cool and trendy. So
I'm not a surfer, and you can see me stumbling trying to get it out myself. I just manage all the surfers.
well, thank you for coordinating that and having that event. I think that's going to be a great addition to our event this year. So yet another way that those relationships can help kind of spread awareness and also have some fun related to your Great Strides Walk. So I saw a question. Hi, Karina. Thank you for joining us on camera. We get to see your beautiful face now. Karina had a question about, has anyone done a cornhole fundraiser that they can share info on? Anybody have any experience with the cornhole fundraiser?
I've been to one. So I can speak about it. It was a $25 entry and all the money went to it, and it was a tournament style. And so you had to be a team of two and you had to come in as a team of two. And it was at like a general location, park, something fun. They provided their own little snacks, that kind of stuff. Really low costing, Costco kind of stuff. But again, they had a lot of turnout, and I think you could buy back in, like almost like if you play poker, you can buy back in kind of thing. There was like a buy back into like a losers bracket situation, but easy to do at the park. Again, low costing, and nobody wanted the money. They just wanted the bragging rights.
Karina, does that answer your question? That sounds pretty cool. That sounds doable, right? Very good. Very good. All right. Any other questions before we wrap up? We're almost at 7, so we did good on time. Any other questions anybody has or anything you want to share? All right.
I'm going to say I can share a tip with the group really quick. I love fundraising, so I'm so excited you're all here talking about it. One of the things that I share with people in San Diego is to set a goal and then make sure you're posting all the time on social media. So if you have, if you use social media, I've done that a lot of years in a row. And then I'll do a push, I'll include why I'm fundraising. And then as people are donating, I'll do recognition posts. And I feel like that's a really good passive way to remind people to donate. And I found that if I put my goals, if I say like, I'm at $3,000, and then my next post will say, shout out to Stephanie, Amber, and Jennifer for your donations this week. Now I only have, what did I say, $3,000. Now I only have $2,820 to go. And I'll keep doing that every few days. And I've been able to raise, I have one friend also that donates $2,000 and matches it. So if we take her out, I can raise $3,000 in about a week doing that, or week, maybe 2 weeks. Wow. And I find that people get really excited. And I've had a friend that has said to me, oh, I'm so sorry, I saw your post 8 times and I haven't donated yet. And I had no idea she was even paying attention to it. So that seems to work really well.
Yeah, that's great, Jen. I think a lot of times we see stuff on social media and you think, oh, it's going to be too much. It's going to be too much. I don't want to send this again. I don't want to send it again. But people don't always read it. And you might send it, 10 times, but they really only see it once or twice. And they really only need to see it that one time to get them to actually click the button. So that's great. That's a great reminder to just keep reminding people that giving is available to them. So thank you guys. Go ahead.
I learned in a psychology class that it actually takes somebody 13 times of seeing something before they will actually try it or do it.
Wow, I see all the head. Look at all the head nods. There's all the.
Yeah, we're on different times on social media, and so what you see at a time, like I'll see it at work. I'm like, I don't have time for that right now. I've seen it, but then I forget about it by the time I get home. So there is something about posting at different times of the day and multiple times. And certainly if anyone's getting upset because you're posting about something that you're passionate about, you know, maybe they're going to move on anyways, because it has become something that you're passionate about. And that comes across in how you post.
Yeah. Yeah, I see Jennifer White shaking her head. Jennifer does a lot of social media, does a lot of Facebook and social media posts. And I think it's the right thing. Like, you have to be consistent with the messaging and get it out and repeatedly. Jen has told me that, like, you know, you got to keep messaging and got to keep sending it out. Very cool. Well, ladies, I think we have no gentlemen on tonight. So we're going to say, ladies, powerful, smart, resourceful, and passionate, dedicated ladies. Thank you all so much for supporting the work that we do at the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation and being really the reason that the staff that's here, the reason that we are here working at the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. We're all looking forward to that day where CF really does stand for Cure Found. It always fascinates me when I talk to new groups or new people and they're like, that's so clever, that's so cool, we want to use that on our flyer. Oh, that's really cool. And I'm like, yeah, it's very cool, but we want to see it happen. And I really do believe it's going to happen in our lifetime. Probably not supposed to say that since we're recording, but I said it. So I just appreciate all of you spending so much time with us and sharing such great ideas, asking such great questions. Reach out to us via email, copy the chat if you didn't do that already, get your Great Strides information and reach out to your event lead and have a wonderful Great Strides. Thank you, and have a great evening. Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.